Hi, everyone, and welcome to the My Message podcast. My name is Kyia Mochitani, and I'm your host for today's episode. Every episode, it'll be me right here. And on the My Message podcast, we are working to make our messy life our message. This episode is going to be a little harsh. I want to forewarn you. It is going to cover topics that maybe you agree with, maybe you don't. It's going to cover topics that I feel like are so important that not many people are talking about. And I feel like I'm blessed with the gift to have a voice. And so I'm going to use it for the better good. It's going to be about what is going on with the world we live in today. And basically just trying to figure out what is wrong with the world we live in today. What is going on? And so, here it is. Are you guys ready? But before we start really quick, if you see on YouTube, there's this like Starbucks cup here. I just want to share everybody my Starbucks order because it is so stinking good. My friend Cal, she put me on and it is like my favorite thing ever right now. But I, try and save money. So I just only use that when I have stars or when I am in desperate needs. But today I used my stars, so that was really good. But it is an iced passion tango tea with green tea instead of water or instead of lemonade or whatever they put in it. And then since it's unsweetened, I take 3 stevia packets and dump that in there and mix it in. My friend Cal, she does too, but it's my favorite drink ever. You guys have to try it out. Thank you, Cal, for putting me on and putting everyone else on now. The topics that we're going to cover in this episode are about cancel culture. It's about how we are so judgmental nowadays. How social media used to be a great place, but now it's just such an awful place sometimes. How we compare others, how we are so envious nowadays, and just at the end of it, all in all, just how and why we are so divided. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is just cancel culture. Why is cancel culture such a big thing? Why is someone getting canceled every single day? It feels like it just doesn't make sense to me. It makes me so sad. People make mistakes. And when you're given a platform or given a big platform or whatever, you should be held accountable. I believe that and I hear you on that. But what I don't stand for is the death threats. What I don't stand for is filling our mind, body, and soul with hate and taking time out of our day to literally tell someone to die. Like, that doesn't, even make sense in my brain how people think that that's okay. And that's just because someone made a mistake that their whole life should be completely ruined. I am all for being held accountable, but I know that the person canceled definitely has a team backing them, able to tell them, you're not their mom. No one else is their mom besides their mom, and no one else should pretend to be like that either. When I think of cancel culture, the first thing that comes to mind is, has the person that is giving, the person being canceled hate, has that person ever made a mistake before? Have they ever done something wrong? If your answer is no, then they are God and God alone. But I know that person has made a mistake, and I know that person sending hate or telling somebody to kill themselves has done something wrong before. And it just certainly doesn't make sense in my brain how we think that that's okay. In the Bible, it talks about, how can you try and get the speck out of somebody else's eye when you have a log in your own? How can you go and do something for someone else, but you're doing the same thing that they're doing? It just doesn't make sense in my head. God says to forgive others like Jesus would. We're supposed to repent for our sins. We're supposed to ask for forgiveness, right? That's what we all want. So why don't you forgive the person that made the mistake or that, messed up? There is by no means, it just literally breaks my whole heart when I just see, oh, person X got canceled, person A, B, blah, 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 everyone just getting canceled left and right, or people finding what they said 20, 30 years ago and using it against them now. Like, they're not the same person they were 20, 30 years ago. I'm not the same person I was a year ago. You're not the same person you were a year ago. Why are we just canceling every single person? It doesn't make sense. And so I just feel like my call to action with cancel culture is, why don't we worry about ourselves before we worry about others? Why are we so why do we feel like we have the entitlement to do or to say or to be negative and hurtful and hateful towards one another? It just makes me so sad. Honestly, I think that is one of the biggest things that just divides people, you know? The next thing I want to talk about is judgment. I've been judged before, and I've judged other people, neither of which I do feel good in my heart. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make me anything. In fact, when I get judged, it actually hurts me. It makes me feel sad. And when I judge other people, it just fills my heart and body and mind with something negative, right? We look at people, right, who have more than us, and we oftentimes envy that, instead of just being so grateful and so thankful for all that we do have and all that we have right now, all that God's given us in this moment. The Delta cards that you were dealt, or the hand of cards that you were dealt, is no one else's fault, is no one else's anything. Like, this is your life to live, and you are given this life for a reason. Maybe you started 10 steps before other people. You were given this life for a reason. And who are we to just keep wanting more and more and more? Maybe you were given 10 steps back than everyone, right? Like, you are so far behind every other person because of simply the situation you were born into. You were given this life for a reason. Whatever is happening in your life right now is happening for you, not to you, and that you can make something so great. So now that you're a million steps ahead of other people. And envy is just such a bad thing that we can all just get wrapped into. Like, when I scroll on TikTok, I oftentimes find myself just being envious of other people, envious of their haul that they're showing, or envious of the way that they look or the way their body is. And so that's why I can't scroll on TikTok anymore, because it doesn't serve me and it doesn't make me feel good at all. Like, I just feel like I'm in this constant mode of just wanting more, doing wanting more this, wanting more that, wanting to look this way, wanting to be this way, when really I am me, and I've been given this life for a reason and a purpose. The next thing I want to talk about in judgment is, when we see people who have more than us, we envy them. But also, when we see people who are different than us, we compare ourselves to them. We compare them to us, I should say. What if someone's walking by in a whole different outfit that that is not in your style, and whatever, they're just walking by and they look different than you. What is your first instinct? It's to judge. I've seen so many girls walking by somebody and they both give each other the side eye of did you just see what I saw? With judgment and with they're less than, you or whatever. That is just so sad. That is just so terrible. Over the years, I've literally trained my brain in thinking about the first thing that I love about that person when I see them. The first thing that I see and the first thing I notice, I've trained my brain to love it. And to oftentimes my mouth will just be oh my gosh, that looks so good on you. And I won't even think twice about it, because that's truly how I feel. We can train our minds to do that. Our minds are totally trainable. I don't know if you guys know, but it's just so, it's just so sad. I actually have a story where I compared myself to Jake. And this was actually recently. It wasn't about the way he looks. It wasn't about anything like that. It was a little bit different. So I really want to share and just be vulnerable in this moment and share like something that I, handled poorly and something that I did wrong. And so basically what happened was Jake and I haven't talked a lot this past week because I've just been so busy, and then the moments that I can talk, he can't. And so we've just been, just haven't been talking. And so this time we were able to talk for a long period of time, and I've just been, going to all these conferences and doing all these things. And I just felt like I want Jake to get on board or hop on or, like keep going and go faster on this journey that he's on, and like to start something with me and start a business and do all these things and, go the speed that I'm going. And he said, Kyia, I've changed so much. I've been so much better. I just feel like I can never like get to where you want me to be. And then he said something that totally changed my whole thought process and my whole view on this situation. And it simply was, you are comparing yourself to me, and that is not fair. And I sat there and I said, yeah, you're right. Like I am comparing myself to you as if we should be going the same speed, as if our situations should be the same when they aren't, and they shouldn't be, right? Like I can't blame him for the cards he was dealt. And that made me realize, wait, like Jake has come so far. So what if I think about Jake a year ago to Jake now? If I compare those two types of people, they're night and day. They're completely different. Why am I not just so proud of him in this moment? Why do I have to think that he should be on my speed? Why do I have to think he should be going the same pace or doing the same things as I should be doing? Like, am I crazy? Like, no. What if we look at somebody with gratitude, that we know that everybody has trials and tribulations that they go through, and that whatever person that just walked by us or whatever person is standing right before us, we see them as, wow, like you are so awesome because you're right here in this moment, and you've probably had to go through so much stuff to get to where you are today, and I'm proud of you. What if they're wearing like a new outfit, and just because you didn't personally like it doesn't mean that, when they were buying it, they were scared to wear it and they finally got the courage to. And you're the first person they cross paths with and see you two making faces. What if our first answer is just love and gratitude for all that that person is, all that that person's gone through, and the fact that they're curated to be authentic in themselves in the best way possible? I think judgment is like such a hard thing to work on, and such a hard thing to master and to really bring light to, because even like the little kids that I babysit, I babysit any like kids from like 2 to like 4, if you will. And when I found, or 2 to 4, and I found out when I don't wear makeup, every single one of the kids points out my like pimples on my face. It's not like they're trying to judge me, but like as our human nature, that's what we do, is we just judge other people. But what if we train our brain to not do that? And it's so possible, because I've done it, and it truly is like life-changing and life-saving for me, because I don't think of anyone, I don't look at anyone in any kind of way other than with love and gratitude, to be honest. It's truly how I feel. I think the world that we live in today is that we are just so quick to speak and slow to listen. Does anyone know what's wrong with the statement I just said? We are all so quick to speak and slow to listen, when in reality, it really truly should be the other way around. We really all should be so slow to speak, slow to open up our mouth, slow to say what we think is right or say our opinion. We should all be so quick to listen, so quick to just, before we even talk, listen to what that person is really saying and listen to our heart, and then maybe we then speak, right? So I feel like we all just have this entitlement of, oh, I can give you my opinion on this. My opinion is so important. I'm going to give it to you. It doesn't matter if your opinion is so hurtful or whatever. You don't care. You just say it because you have that entitlement. But what if we are all just so slow to speak and so quick to just listen? What if we respond with the intent to just listen? That's it. To just listen. It's just, I think we all are, I don't want to say all, and maybe throughout the episode I keep saying all, but know that I don't mean all, and I'll catch myself. But I think most of us are so caught in the thought that their opinion is so important and their opinion matters, when sure, you're entitled to your own opinion 100%, but there's times when your opinion doesn't really matter, or your times where your opinion is just full of hate and negativity and just rude thoughts that we really don't even need to hear it. And I know that sounds so harsh, and I'd always tell my friends, I'm like, I'm cutthroat, y'all. Like, I am so cutthroat, but I am so kind to my core, but I am so cutthroat. Like, I really am. I think that's also, I want to talk about social media. I think that social media can be such an awesome space and an awesome place to be. But the problem with it is that we use social media in a bad way. We choose who we get to follow. We choose what we like. We choose what we don't like. We choose, our all around social media atmosphere. And the fact of the matter is that some of us choose our atmosphere in ways that we think is helping us because it feels good in the moment, but really it's hurting us because it leaves us feeling envious. It leaves us feeling like we aren't good enough. It leaves us feeling alone. It leaves us feeling XYZ, right? The reason why I say social media can be such a great space to be is because there are thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of Instagram accounts literally cultivated and curated to help you and to meet your niche and to, spread positivity and spread love. I truly believe that. But the problem is most of us don't use it in that way, or we don't follow accounts that do that for us, if you will. But at the same time, there's hundreds and thousands of Instagram accounts that are literally only created to tear you apart and to spread hate and to just be mean to one another, right? We create our own social media atmosphere. And so my question to you is, why are you following people that you know don't serve you? Why are you only hurting yourself? Why do you want to feel this way? Of envious, of alone, of not good enough, of a sense of not belonging, or a sense of whatever. Like, you create, your whole social media account and your social media atmosphere. Everyone is going through something. Everybody has a story. We are all at different walks of life. We all struggle. We all have insecurities. We all have something from our past that we are not proud of. We all make mistakes. We've all done something wrong. So who are we to judge? Who are we to cancel? We're all so imperfect people. We all sin. We all make mistakes. We all are human. What if we view others and view the world as a place of love? That's my biggest dream, is just for everyone to just view the world in the place of love. And the fact of the matter is people won't or don't, or maybe don't even know how. But what if we all just answer first with love? What if it could be literally as simple as that? Our first instinct, our first reaction, our first response is to literally just be love. You cannot go wrong with that. What if we all are just love at the end of the day? It's such a bummer because I feel like the world we live in today, like, there are some awesome people. There are some awesome things, and we've made awesome steps forward. But I also don't want to, not acknowledge the things that are not so great in this world, where our mental health is at an all-time high, where social media is a place where we just go to get canceled, where we walk around judging other people, where there are literally mass shootings every single day. At what point, my brain just asks, at what point will this end? At what point will we all just say, this is enough, and I will just be love? I will just answer first with love, and I will just be kind to one another, because I don't know when my last day will be, and I don't know what that person is going through, or what that stranger is walking through, or what that person has went through or has gone through. What if our first response is love? What if? I just feel like that's my dream and the biggest thing that I want to happen, because it's hard living in this world we live in today. But in the same breath, I'm so proud of you for all that you've come. And I'm so proud that you are still able to be living in this world today, and that you were able to make something of it. And I guess my last words are, worry about ourselves, right? Let's worry about ourselves. Let's keep ourselves in check and answer first with love. Those are the 3 things. Those are my last key points. Thank you so much for giving me the space to be able to, share how I feel, if you will, and to allow me to share my voice. And thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you. And if you listen to the end, I appreciate you, and I love you so, so very much. I'm sorry this episode was harsh. It was just on my heart, and I needed to get it off, I guess. I love you guys so much. You guys are everything to me. And if you're going through something, or you need help or guidance or anything, you need to just get something off your chest, DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is Kyia.6, KYIA.6. Send me a text or whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Reach out to me, because I would love to help you and walk through life with you. I love you guys so much, so very much. I hope you have the best day ever. Mwah. Bye.